Alright guys, so today's video is going to be a little bit different of a video. As you guys know, Black Ops 6 is a little bit slow right now with content. We do have the Shattered Veil coming out very soon at the beginning of April. So in today's video, I want to do something different. Like I said, I want to make a little tutorial on how I make my thumbnails for my Black Ops 6 Zombies videos. So we can kind of go from something like this, something pretty basic and not edited at all, to something more like this. A lot of cool edits, showing off the camo. A lot of my videos on my channel are showing off how to get Nebula Camo, so this is a great way to showcase that. For this particular video, I want to go from something like this, which is going to be the thumbnail for this actual video that you guys saw, to something like this. So, how do we do that? Well, I'm going to show you guys right now in this video. Alright, so let's jump straight into it. I'm not going to get too much into, the nitty-gritty on how to work Photoshop, the little shortcuts and stuff like that. You can definitely find another video on YouTube to show you that, how to zoom in easily, how to move around, how to do stuff like that. I mean, that's just pretty general knowledge on Photoshop. So I'm just going to jump straight in and show you guys how to start. In general, for this video, I would say this would be a great tutorial on how to, say you want to show off how you're going to get Nebula on this melee weapon right here, right? What you can do is you can obviously go into the game, and if you already have Nebula unlocked in the game, you can do a little inspect on it. You can use whatever clipping software you like, get a nice clean screenshot of it. But for this example, I was struggling to kind of get a really nice, clean, crispy screenshot of this. So what I ended up doing was I found this online. This was just, on the blog or whatever, the COD blog. And what we're going to do is we're going to chop this out. So two ways to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with this. What you can do is you can come here and you can use the object selection tool. This works kind of decently sometimes. You can highlight it and it'll kind of grab it. It might get some of this over here, some of that. It's not perfect. If that doesn't end up working, you can actually come over here. You can, deselect that. And what we can do is we can hit remove background. Sometimes this works as well. See, it didn't work totally perfect. So what we're going to do is, I usually like to do this because what this is going to do is it's going to give you two little sections right here. So what you can do is this is going to mask it. So now if you select the mask, so you'll know it's selected by the little outline right here. So we have the mask selected. We're going to go into our paintbrush right here. Make sure, we switch to our normal brush. And we can erase. So we're gonna just erase that, kind of just get it. I'm not gonna show you how to perfectly get it. You're gonna have to zoom in and you're gonna have to perfectly line it up and make sure you cut out everything like that. So that's how you do that. And then what you do, since we kind of lost some of it here, is you're gonna go from this color right here. It's always gonna be black and white. You're gonna switch it to white and that's gonna restore. So as you see right here, we can restore any part of what we lost. So we can restore the hand, get the hand back right here. And then I just went through and slowly cut out everything. So go back to your black, make the brush bigger and just kind of cut it out around the fingers. It doesn't have to be perfect because I already did it. So that's what we're going to do. And you should end up with a clean cutout like this. And we can kind of stop there for the melee weapon for now. And if you want to hide that, you come here, you click the little eye. And for this particular video, I wanted to go with this sky right here. So I found this screenshot just online, somebody's, gameplay or whatever it might be. And this shows a really good dark ether sky. And what we're going to do is we're going to just put that at the very bottom. And what we can do is we can also come into here. And as you see right here, I added some adjustments to it. So without those, it's a little bit dark. So we can go to selective color. And how you do that is you click on this right here. And you're going to go into this button right here, and this will allow you to add mask to that. So right here, the brightness, I clicked on that. I added brightness right here, and then you kind of just play with the levels up the brightness however you want it, as bright as you want it to be. So that's that. That's going to be our very base background right there. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to show off two different ways you can kind of do this. So we can go like this and we can have a Nuketown kind of background just because it's bright. We kind of want something bright for this background. We can do that. And I went in and I deleted the sky from this. So the blue sky that you usually have on Nuketown, I went ahead and deleted that so that we have this nice dark ether background, which kind of gives it more of a zombies feel. I mean, I know this isn't directly from Black Ops 6 Zombies, but we're just trying to make something eye-catching, you know what I mean? You can very easily change this out too. So say you're like, man, I don't want to have Nuketown for my zombies video. That doesn't even make sense. So we have the Shattered Veil coming up soon, right? So all I did was I found this. This is the mansion. Let's go ahead and hide this real quick as well. This is the mansion clip that we got that was kind of like, you know, the CCTV footage where it has the lines. And all I did here was cut out the sky as well. Kind of left the smoke a little bit, so that kind of fades into the background here. We have a really cool background. So this is another great example that we could use. If I bring back in my melee weapon here, that would be the background. This looks really great as well too. So either way, you can go with the Nuketown or you can go with the Shattered Veil mansion background. Before I get on to that, I totally forgot, is in the normal mansion, we have this image right here. As you see on the screen right there, it doesn't have these windows lit up. All I did, a really cool way to do this, is you bring this in here, right? You go into your clone stamp tool, you make that a little bit bigger. And if you go here and you hold Alt, you're gonna hold down your Alt key, you should get this little thing. And if you click, say you click it right in the middle, now you have this and you can bring this anywhere. So you see it's gonna completely clone that. And all I did was I clicked here, I clicked here, clicked here, clicked here, and that kind of gave me the effect that the lights are on right here as well. Because in the normal image, as you see, they're dark, and I just wanted to give it a little bit more life, a little bit more lights on inside the mansion. So a little bit of an edit there that is really cool. You guys can do that. Obviously, we can go from this, which is just the normal kind of, you know, melee weapon, pretty boring. But for this video, my idea would be, I want to show off how to get Nebula. So how do I do this here? So all I did was, if you get rid of these right here, you can see it gets rid of the camo, right? So what I did is I got this right here. It is a screenshot of the skateboard. And the reason why I went with the skateboard is because it's very big and very flat, and it gives us a really good, nice, easy image of the camo itself. So all you have to do is you go into the game, you go over to the skateboard, you look at the Nebula Camo on the skateboard, and just take a screenshot of it. Now you have a perfect screenshot of it, and all you really need to do is cut it out. So cut it out from that. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna add it. I like to use the hard light. So make sure you go into hard light right here, overlay, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna hit Control-Alt-G, and what that's gonna do is it's gonna overlay it. So as you see, it's too big right here. If you select it and you overlay it down, it's gonna put it only on the melee weapon. So make sure you do that, Control-Alt-G, and that'll put it, you'll get this little arrow right here. So that shows that it's only affecting this layer. So once we do that, you know, you're gonna have that extra, so it's gonna be a little bit, it might hang off the sides, you're gonna need to erase it. So if you go in, you make sure you're clicked on this, you can erase it, as I see here. So say it's hanging over onto the handle. Look, you can erase it and bring it back, and as you see, that just erases it from right here. And then if I hit Control-Z, that'll bring it back and erase what I just did. So now you have that right here. You kind of got to outline it, erase the edges, and make sure you hit Control-Alt-G and bring it onto this layer only. So once we do that, you know, on these Nebula camos, it usually has a different kind of little like cracked black camo on this type of material, on, you know, like the weapon grips and stuff like that. So what I did was I got this right here, and I did the same thing. I did a hard light overlay, or actually on this one I did a screen. You just kind of got to play with it, see which one looks better. The hard light didn't look too good. It looks like that. Can't really tell what it is at all. So you want to go into the screen, and then that'll give you that right here. And I just erased this little circle part right here. And that gives us that really cool effect that looks like you have Nebula on your weapon here. So that is a really, really cool way to do it. You can definitely do that on any you know, weapon you want to do. I did that on this as well. So if you come into here, I had this gun, and I did the same overlay on top of this. So all I did was I overlaid that skateboard camo on this, and I went literally from this to this. So it's a really cool effect, and I can show you guys how to brighten this up and do all that as well. So what we're gonna do is, once we have that, you're gonna add vibrance and you're gonna add selective color. So the vibrance, you wanna bring that way up. And as I said before too, make sure you Control-Alt-G it, and that'll only affect this layer. So as you see, if I bring this vibrance down, it definitely is gonna mute it a little bit. Like the saturation as well affects it a lot. So look how much that looks terrible, right? So if we bring that up all the way, it's gonna really, really pop on this background. So that, and then you're gonna go into selective color as well. And whatever you have colors of, so you can go into here and you can go reds, right? So the gloves are red and there's a little bit of red in here. And you can just kind of brighten that up or do whatever you wanna do with that. And we're gonna have greens, you know, there's greens in here as well. You can brighten up the greens. You can change the colors, whatever you think looks best. You can go into, you know, your blues. You can adjust that. See, it really affects the camo and how it looks. So that is a really great way to come in and kind of affect the nebula. Now, another cool thing I like to do is, what I'll end up doing is I'll drop my Photoshop file in the description so you guys can just use this, is these little brush copies right here. So you can see it adds a little bit of a glow right here. You can see I'm hiding it and unhiding it. Same with this one right here. You can hide it, unhide it. It adds a little bit of a glow so it looks like the camo is glowing. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to set this right here. You can unlock it. You're going to set this to linear dodge add and just kind of bring it down. You know, you don't want it super, if you put it to 100, that's what it looks like. Bring it down to maybe like 20 or 30. That just adds a nice little glow to this, so it looks like it's glowing around this background here. After that, all I really need to do is I need to add in my text. I'm gonna bring the text back in, Black Ops 6 Zombies, and then we're gonna bring our other text back in. So that's this right here, thumbnail tutorial. So let me show you guys how to do the text. This is very simple. Text is pretty easy to do. So let's start off by this right here. All we're gonna need to do is we are going to go into here. We're gonna go to blending options. This pops up after you right click it. And what I like to do is I like to add a little bit of this. So if you do a bevel, come into here, you can copy these settings right here that I used, and this will give you this kind of effect. And if you go into contour, you can kind of change it a little bit, and you can see it's affecting it in a different way. Go with whatever one you think looks best. And what we're going to need to do after that is we're going to go back into here and we're going to do a gradient. So when you do a gradient, it's going to give you this really cool yellow to orange effect that I had. And you can copy these settings right here. So all of this, scale, and do this right here. The color code is that if you want to copy it. And the color code here is that if you want to copy it. And then kind of bring it in a little bit. You know, you can adjust it where it lands at. I kind of like to leave it around there. And then after that, you're going to want to add a stroke. That gives it this black outline. If I go into the stroke settings here, you can see what I did. Outside, it's only 5 point. And then that's it. Normal blend mode, black color. And then you can also add a drop shadow. So go into the drop shadow. These are the settings that I use for that. And obviously you can adjust that. You can bring the distance, you can move it, you can make it bigger, spread, size, you can do all that stuff. Bring back in my other one. You can see this is what I ended up with on the one that I actually made. It's a little bit bigger. And another cool thing, just to add some depth, is I like to bring the text behind this background here. So it kind of just gives it some depth. You see the top of the mansion here is actually in front of the text. All you need to do is you come into your layers here and make sure it's arranged in that way. If you come up, this is the mansion right here. It is above, like if you look right here, it's right here, and then the text is down here. So if I bring that up, grab it and move it and bring it up here, it'll go in front of the mansion. But if I get rid of that, it'll go back behind. So that gives it really cool depth. Honestly, that's really pretty much it for this video. I definitely think I showed you guys some cool ways to make a little thumbnail. And like I said, I will actually drop both of my files. So I'll drop this one in the description. You can see all the things that I used here. A bunch of different stuff, a bunch of different effects. This one was a little bit more detailed because I added like a motion effect on the blades here and a little glint effect and a glow effect on there. Just wanted to mainly show you guys the really cool way that I figured out how to give your weapon a Nebula Camo, because before it looked like that, after it looks like this. And then text and all that kind of stuff, that can really be personalized. You can play with it however you want. You know, you can change the colors up. You can do whatever you want to do. Like for this, I just kind of left it before, even before this, I didn't have it red. I just had it white, which I don't think pops as much, giving it a little more color up there. And it represents that Black Ops 6 Zombies logo that we all know. that's about it. If you guys have any questions on this or any more little, tips or tricks that I didn't think of to throw in this video, just let me know and I can definitely help you guys in the comments. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Hopefully it'll be a Shattered Veil video, because we should be getting that very soon at the beginning of April. Peace out.